Should I start talking or not? Well, I'm gonna. I have 5 pages to get through before dinner, so we'll have to get through this, guys. No, just kidding. What we're gonna do, can you guys hear me, really? Okay, I'm gonna say a few words. We're gonna say table prayer, and then we're gonna eat dinner, and then after dinner, we're gonna have all the gentlemen up here and ladies say a few more words while everybody is conversing. Huh? So just to let everybody know what's going on. So I'm gonna say a few words now, and then we'll get this going with a prayer afterwards. Okay. Jesse did tell me that I would have to say a few words tonight, but I'll try to keep it short because I'm kind of shy and not much of a talker. You guys all know that. You know. First, I would like to say that Beth and I, along with James and Robin, where's James and Robin? Right in front of me. We would like to thank our family and friends from far and near for joining us to celebrate Jesse and Hannah's wedding. Okay. I would also like to take a moment to thank all the veterans out there tonight that served their country. Thank you very much for that. Okay, where do I start? Most everybody in the immediate family knows the story about our third pregnancy because Bethy brings it up at every event. I guess I want to set the record straight and put this to rest tonight. Many years ago, when I was told we were going to have a third baby, the reason I didn't talk to Bethy for 3 weeks because I was afraid. I was really afraid for her well-being. You see, when I remembered what Alex looked like when he popped out, it brought back memories. It brought back memories. And I was afraid for her well-being. All right, sorry, kid. All right, now we're moving on to Jesse. Katie, I'm saving her because she's my daughter. She's with child, so I'm going to save her tonight. Okay. Jesse as a baby was unique. Where am I? Oh. As he would always fill his diaper every half hour or so. I was so glad I was on the fire department at the time and had access to protective mask and pure oxygen to help deal with him. But I would say, that's my boy. All my kids are pretty good athletes. Jesse was a challenge, though, because when I would throw grounders to the kids off the driveways to keep the reflexes sharp, Katie and Alex, they would throw the ball right back to my glove. Jesse, the ball would end up in a ditch, up on the roof, in the neighbor's yard. But I would say, that's my boy. Jesse did play a lot of baseball, and in his baseball games, Jesse was just as impressive. He would get hits, but he would always run to third base. One time he hit the ball pretty good, and he was chugging around the base as he slid into first base, thinking he hit a triple. That's my boy. Jesse's basketball games, they were also challenging, too, because we couldn't figure out why he would carry a suitcase with him because of all the traveling he did. As a side note, I'm getting to these guys. As a side note, best friends Boobs and Devin would school Jesse on the court all the time. Just ask them. Okay. Playing high school football for Jesse was the biggest challenge for him because he was a 106-pound defensive back. And there were many times when a running back would come busting through the line, and Jesse would turn and run and race him to the goal line so he wouldn't get run over. And I would say, that's my boy. Then came Jesse's college career. Jesse went to Platteville. And at one time, he had 5 roommates, and nobody liked to taste the beer. They all liked to taste the beer. Beth and I knew it wasn't going to turn out well, and Jesse moved back home to mooch off of Mom and Dad, and I went, that's my boy. Then all of a sudden, Jesse started bringing this young lady with long blonde hair named Hannah over to the house. And then I would really say, that's my boy. Seriously though, we have the most fantastic children anybody can ask for, like anybody else. And we won't be taking Hannah away from James and Robin, but we'll be adding another daughter to our family, fantastic daughter to our family. Your mom and I love you guys dearly and tons. If you ever need anything, we're there for you. So, thank you. Okay, table prayer. We'll say the common table prayer and then we'll eat. I don't know how they're going to do the food-wise, so then I'll be done talking, you guys. Okay. Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest, and let these gifts to us be blessed. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Amen.
How time flies by. I can remember holding Hannah in my arms, that little blonde-headed girl, and then causing all sorts of trouble. And then watching her grow up, go through grade school, then high school, watching her cross that stage at college. Just an amazing time has flown by, and it's just, you just can't put words to all those things that have gone through. And I thought about, I can't imagine growing up in a military family like my kids did, Hannah especially, the youngest, 3 older brothers, much bigger, athletic like she is, but she was out there every step of the way with them, whether it was playing football, basketball, a little bit of soccer, but they didn't want to admit that, Derek and Devin at least. But they did play a little soccer. But she was always out there. She was always competing. She never, ever gave up. Now, there are 2 stories that, for me, are very memorable that I have to continue to bring up, because I'm the one who usually brings them up, not Hannah. The first one, very near and dear to my heart, my beloved daughter burning my favorite car to the ground. And I am telling you, literally burned it all the way to the ground. Tires melted, metal fused, you name it. She's probably over there right now saying, oh, spare me. But she did have an accident, and it was my favorite car at the time. So I never let her live that down. Ever. And then, the last one, let's talk about Shiner. Shiner is my dog now. But Shiner was adopted when she was 4 months old and named after our favorite beer, Shiner Bock. The plan, according to Hannah, was to have the dog stay with Robin and I for 1 or 2 months. And then she would take it to her new house when she moved in college. Well, that plan unraveled and continued to unravel, and Shiner never left my house. So she's now become mine. And I continually tell Hannah, for a mere $6,000, she can have Shiner back. And she has still not paid me $6,000, so she's not getting her back. And it's still open, 6,000. Huh? All right. Okay. But seriously, Hannah, she has grown to be a bright, caring, compassionate woman. Just amazing what she's turned out to be and where she is and where she's going to continue to go in life. And I tried to remember when was the first time that I met Jessie. And all I could remember was that it was through KML, Kettle Moraine Lutheran High School. I know it was through the boys, or I'm pretty sure it was through the boys. Not 100% sure, my memory's not so good. But I do know that it definitely had to be through Kettle Moraine Lutheran. But I do remember the afternoon that he came over and talked to me about marrying Hannah. And that was the day that my dread of tonight completely ended. I knew that the two of them were in love. He's an amazing young man. He's a great addition to our family, and so grateful, so thankful for that. Let's see. Oh, and then also thankful for the Stapleton family. Without them, we would have never been turned on to trick-or-shotting. If you don't know what trick-or-shotting is, trick-or-shotting is the adult version of trick-or-treating. We go to a campground every year, and the adults go around and we get shots of adult beverages, the kids get candy, and so on. But really, it's a weekend of laughs, sharing stories, being with great people, the Bellmans, being with great people, eating ourselves sick because it's amazing food, and one or two adult beverages, but that's a whole nother story. And again, so that's it. I'm a man of few words, like I said. Just want to end it on that note. And if I can hold myself together, just remember those that can't be with us anymore and wish they were here today.
Hello everyone. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a few moments to go ahead and talk about my gorgeous best friend and her new husband. My name is Rachel Breezer. I'm Hannah's matron of honor, longtime friend, Rudy's godmother, and Hannah and Jesse's designated third wheel. Hannah has always been there for me since the day we met, and the sister I never had. So it's an honor to stand by her side today as she marries the love of her life. I would like to say that Hannah and I have been friends since that day, but I'd actually be lying. Truthfully, before I even knew who Hannah was, I couldn't stand playing against her and the 8th grade basketball team at Peace because they always beat us. And despite my height, I'm not as good at basketball as you might think. However, things took a turn for the better when the 8th grade teams combined for a junior Chargers team, and since then, our friendship has come such a long way. Hannah and I have grown up together, graduated high school and college together, started adulting together, and navigated some major life changes along the way. We leaned on each other during the bad times, laughed with each other at how ridiculous life can be, and definitely made sure to celebrate the good times as well. From the late nights and yummy food on Ash Drive in high school, to even later nights in college, to the many country concerts, parties, weddings, and vacations, we've been through it all. And all of those memories have led us here to yet another milestone, your wedding day. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see that huge smile on your face. It feels like just last week, we were using our high school AP Environmental Science class to go to my house to get you a pair of socks that you forgot for our softball game, effectively ruining my perfect attendance record and adding a truancy to my report card. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Or it was just like yesterday that we were in college procrastinating all of our homework and papers and instead making an elaborate 3-course meal that we could eat while we binge watch Grey's Anatomy. I can't begin to tell you how many memories and inside jokes I could have put into this speech, but we have to save those for another time because I know we have a couple more speeches and a lot of celebrating and dancing to still do tonight. Jessie, thank you for making my best friend so happy. We both know that she deserves the world, and I have no doubt that you'll be able to give that to her. Just don't forget that even though you're married now, we'll still need to text constantly, probably gonna need some monthly wine nights, annual girls trips, and I'm just gonna plan on keeping my room at your house. Hannah and Jessie, you know how much I love you guys. It has been so exciting to watch you two grow your relationship and build a life together. From buying a house and turning it into a home, to adding Rudy to your family, it's been quite the ride. I promise I will always be here to cheer you guys on and support you as you continue on this journey. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your special day and here for you. Now, if we could all please raise our glasses and give a cheers to the new Mr. and Mrs. Stapleton and wish them a lifetime of love and happiness. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Derek. I'm Hannah's brother. I'm going to start this speech off with a disclaimer so everyone here can understand. I call Hannah Whoopi Goldberg, and there's literally no context to it, but that's how it's been for the last years, 5, 6, 8, 20 years. All right. Speeches aren't really my thing, so I did what any grown adult would do. I took to Mad Libs to express my feelings. Just know that this comes from the heart, and I mean every single word of it. Here it goes. A wedding toast by Dean, me. As the soul cycle instructor of the bride, I feel depressed to be standing here on such a slimy occasion. I knew the moment Whoopi met Jessie that they were a pot-bellied pig made in the Vatican. So here's to your future. I wish you, So here's to your future. I wish you Lambeau Field filled with many platypuses. May your cacti be full of bush light. May your life together be always crusty, weird, and never porous. My advice to you both is never burp when you are shiny, and always end your day with tequila. And I definitely meet that last part, but Jessie might be allergic to tequila. Considering my many years of marriage, this is the best advice I could come up with. But don't say I never taught you anything. There's just a few more things I want to add before I wrap this up. I would formally like to apologize to Whoopi for taking away the career that she was always destined for. Because of me, she can no longer be a knee model. Why she can't be a knee model? Well, when she was younger, she wanted to play two-hand touch with the boys. So me being competitive, I two-handed touched her a little too hard, and now she's got 2 nail marks running across the length of her knee. And like I said, two-hand touch. So I guess that's what you get when you want to play football with the big boys. You guys all might be wondering how I got here to be the maid of honor in this wedding. Patron. Part of it's because we share the same style choices. In fact, I had to dip into Whoopi's wardrobe to find something to wear out for her 21st birthday. No way. Unfortunately, I can say this is not a joke, but I wore this out for her birthday to multiple bars, and I am formally here to return them. I know they're little. It wasn't pretty. Anyway, I've been friends with both of you guys for so long, and I'm lucky that my family is not only my family, but some of my best friends. And Whoopi, there's no one else I'd rather do Snow Angels at Lambeau Field with than you. So here's to Whoopi and Jesse. Raise your glass. Here's to cheers.
Hello, hello. I am Hannah's other brother, Devin, and I've been fortunate enough to call Jesse my best friend since freshman year in high school. Now, people that know me know that I am very directionally challenged. I need a GPS to get just about anywhere. When I first got my driver's license, there was 2 places that I knew how to get without the GPS: my school and Jesse's house. And if we weren't at Jesse's house, there was a good chance we were at Boob's house. Needless to say, I've spent a lot of time together. From riding the bench in basketball, to fighting a stop sign, all the way until now, we've got quite the arsenal of stories to tell our future kids one day when Hannah and Ashley aren't around. Now, I can't just mention that Jesse fought a stop sign and not expand, so I'll just tell one quick story. I went to visit him at Platteville one weekend. We went out and about in Platteville and enjoyed the beautiful city of P. Vegas. To cap off the night, we decided we were going to support the local Jimmy John's. Jesse wanted to support the local Jimmy John's so much that he put a giant Jimmy John's sticker right in the middle of his forehead while we walked home. As we were walking home, there was a stop sign, I think on the main drag, but we were on the sidewalk. And it had the audacity to trash talk Jesse. Jesse decided he wasn't going to back down, and he hit the stop sign. Like 5 seconds later, you see the cherries and the berries. Cop was on the other side of the street, turned around and pulled up right next to Jesse. All in the snap of a fingers, everybody that we were with vanished. Gone like the wind. And I was... Some of them are here. And there we were, just sitting next to each other on the sidewalk, knowing we had been caught. So the cop gets out and he's talking to Jesse. Jesse's explaining to the cop that the stop sign was way out of line. And I notice that all while he's talking back and forth with this cop, he's got the sticker on his forehead. So I calmly, I reached over, I peeled the sticker off his head, and I just put it in my pocket, and I sat there thinking, I really hope they don't take him away because I have no clue how to get back to his dorm. Jesse did end up getting an underage ticket that night. But I fortunately didn't, but in my head at the time, I was like, you know what? That's my best friend. I'm just going to stand there, and if he goes down, I'm going down with him. He truly was my best friend and still is my best friend in every sense of the way. We took the term man crush to a whole new level. I used to post more pictures of Jesse and I than I would with the girls I was dating at the time. People laugh when I say this, but he truly was my first love. Then, along came another Graysons. And I'll never forget the camping trip that we were on when Jesse decided he was going to tell me. A group of us friends went out camping, and Jesse finally had enough Busch Light, and he came up and he said, hey, I got something to tell you. He said, Devin, I really care about Hannah. Please don't hate me. And at this point, everybody had already known. The whole friend group knew, and I was smirking because I had already knew. And I told him, Jesse, I trust you. I trust you more than anything. You have my blessing. Not that you need it, but you have it. I did finish the conversation by telling him, as much as you are my best friend, I will kill you if you hurt my sister. I promise you, I will. Initially, I got to admit that I was sad, I was mad. I didn't know how to react because I thought I had just lost my best friend. And I'm a very competitive person, so to think that I lost him to my sister, it was like a gut punch. Where are we at here? Sorry. I thought to myself, what does she have that I don't? And it really was. It was a deal for me. Once I got over my pity party, I realized that the happiness and laughter that Jesse's friendship brought to me, he was now going to be giving that and then some to Hannah. And she deserves that, and I realized it was all going to be good in the end. So you both deserve that. I love you both. And Jesse and I always said we were getting to this point that we were going to be brothers for life, and now we literally are brothers for life. Jesse, I lived with Hannah for a long time. I know how she gets. So just my door's open anytime you need me.
Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alex, and I am Jesse's brother. Oh, boy. So a lot of people have already touched on some stories that I was going to bring up, probably because they were just good enough that everybody had to bring them up. But I will be I'll give a little bit different perspective, I guess, on some of them. So a lot of best man speeches start off with the first time the best man meets the groom. This is not the case here, as I have known Jesse his whole life. I think I could go on for hours about different stories about Jesse, good, bad, and ugly, with both family and friends. It all started when Katie and I found out we were going to have another sibling. I can't say I remember the day, but I'm sure we were very surprised. Not as surprised as another member in the family, though. Right, Dad? Whoopsies. Our childhood was about as normal as any two brothers could be, playing football in the living room or backyard, fighting and wrestling constantly, but most importantly, we always had to go ask Katie before we did anything, so we didn't fear the wrath of our sister. Some of my favorite memories of Jesse as a kid was watching the Packers VHS Super Bowl tape every single day with my cousins. We played every and any sport in the backyard. We had our giant swing set in the backyard that we tried to kick our flip-flops and hit the house, get on top of the roof. We always had to go get the guns and play around the house and yard when we took to Aunt Monica's house for the pool trips in the summer. As we grew older and went to high school, though, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really like Jesse. I don't think we talked much. He was too busy with his friends, and I was too busy doing homework. Yeah, exactly. High school was great, though. This family from Texas moved up to Wisconsin my sophomore year. This guy with some fiery red hair and a funny southern accent started talking to me at my locker and at football practice, and the rest is history. Jesse befriended the other guy from Texas when he got to high school. Let me tell you, those Texas boys had the most glorious bowl haircuts you have ever seen. They were incredible. They were. I'm pretty sure Jesse and Devin became friends pretty quickly. I just want to tell a story. During a freshman basketball game, I remember sitting next to my parents, watching this hot-headed blonde kid play point guard with Jesse. And my parents were not big fans of this kid. They really were not big fans of this kid. But little do they know, this kid would end up becoming their third adopted son soon after that. These guys continued to play basketball for a few more years, and no two players at KML warmed the end of the bench like these two guys. There's an incredible picture of that, too, of these two guys sitting at the end of the bench. It's great. Mine and Jesse's relationship improved as we both went to college. We both matured, and it turned out our taste in beverages was very similar. There are several stories we shared together in college, Mifflin and Halloween weekends, taking that Frisbee and playing catch across Regent Street, and then, as Taryn reminded me, we went and played Hammerschlagen in the wee hours of the night in the backyard. Just you and me, Taryn was there too. And also WWE matches in Platteville when we got home from the bars. Yeah. There's countless other stories during that time, but they were crazy and a little bit disorderly at times, so we'll keep those amongst ourselves. After college, we both started working. There were tons of great times at the Nut Hut and Belly Up. Too many to count. At that time, though, I found out that it turned out Derek and Devin actually had a younger sister named Hannah. Who knew? Hannah and her roommates, Rachel and JoJo, were kind enough to invite us to their house to Whitewater for several different weekends. The stories there were similar to what we had in college: Spring Splash, Hannah's 21st, graduation. They were filled with lots of laughs, beers, good times with our friends. Yeah, all right. During this time, it always seemed like Jesse and Hannah were pretty close. And I don't know about anybody else, but I kind of figured there might be something there. I really don't know when they started dating, but all I think I said was it's about time. They've always been great with each other, and Hannah has become like another sister for me. It always seems like Jesse ends up watching over both of us when we go out, for some odd reason. And we even have our own language to communicate with each other, which I know Jesse absolutely loves. Nonetheless, it was awesome seeing these two stand together at the front of church today. I know they would do anything for each other and their good boy Rudy. They always have fun doing whatever they may be doing. It's been great seeing their relationship grow and to get to where they're at today. I know they have some great role models to look up to and a great support group here that always has their back. I'm so proud and happy for Jesse and Hannah and excited to see where the future takes them. So enough talking. Everybody please raise your glass and let's celebrate Jesse and Hannah's day. To Jesse and Hannah.
I'd just like to add some context, I guess, to some things. Jesse, just so you know, until today, nobody's snitched on that story. All right? Hannah has never told anybody what happened on that day. All right? I'm just letting you know that. All right? But as my father said, you know, it's a little weird. You know, my brothers both got married, and it's just different. You know, as my father said, you know, there's not a day that I have known that Hannah and Jesse were going to be married that I did not, or that I doubted that in any way, shape, or form. You know, it was. There's always the you know, who the hell is this guy, right? You know. And I applaud Jesse because you know, my dad did 22 years, my brother did eight years. You know, like going into this family and saying I'd like to marry your daughter, that's takes a pair, a big pair. I am highly impressed, and again, I'd just like to say congratulations, and I love you both, and I'd like to give props to my brothers and sisters for the life they've lived as military children, and turned out to what they still turned out today. Thank you.
All right, last one, I promise. I just want to say thank you for all of you guys coming out here. Exactly. To celebrate Hannah and I especially want to thank my parents, Craig and Beth, Hannah's parents, James and Robin, and everyone else who helped us make this day so special. So let's have a good time. Let's dance our asses off, and let's go.